Good morning, my friends, both here and online. It's good to see everyone. The people's testimony today is from Frederick Buchner. The place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. Tradition's testimony is James 1, verses 17, verses 19 to 20, verses 27. Every desirable and beneficial gift comes out of heaven. The gifts are rivers of light cascading down from the parent of light. There is nothing deceitful in God, nothing two-faced, nothing fickle. Post this at all the intersections, dear friends. Lead with your ears, follow up with your tongue, and let anger straggle along in the rear. God's righteousness doesn't grow from human anger. Real religion, the kind that passes muster before God, is this: reach out to the homeless and loveless in their plight and guard against corruption from the godless world. The message.
Thank you, Jean. So what we're going to do today is this. The church council is starting to work on the hello. Yeah. You know what? That's the loudest thunder I've ever heard in Oregon. Usually it's just this kind of little fit. So this is good. We're starting to work on the 2025 budget. But before we started crunching numbers, which is what we've done in the past, we wanted to engage the congregation. So today we're going to practice harvesting. There's a number of things that we could call this sacred circles. There any number of things where we break into small groups, not more than 3. Be good to talk with somebody you don't usually talk with. And then we're going to talk also a little bit about the covenants of presence, and I hope you all picked up a copy of it. There's 12 of them, but mostly it's about being fully present, and extend and presume welcome. I think we do that pretty well here, but that's important for us to remember as we're having these conversations. Listen generously. We all have a story. We may not have time in the 5 minutes to tell that whole story, but this is a way of collecting that, and we are all equals. We are all given a chance to share. There's no fixing. We're not trying to fix anything or set anything straight. We're suspending judgment. For some of us, that's very hard. Pick me. Turn to wonder. Hold the stories with care. Be mindful and respect time. Practice confidentiality and believe that it's possible for us to emerge from our time together as refreshed, surprised, and less burdened than we came. So let's see, we need those little notepads. Are they still in the back? Okay. Each of you, as you divide up into your small groups, will get a little Post-it note or something like that. And the idea is that you talk together about question 1, which is what matters to you about this church. So think of the thing that matters the most. Question 2 will be for you. What are the things that make Park Rose Community United Church of Christ what it is? And then question 3 would be, what else do you want to tell council about making next year's budget? So we'll do each of the 3 questions separately. Talk with each other briefly. You'll get 5 minutes for each question, and then write down whatever you thought about, whatever popped up for you as the primary consideration or primary answer. There can be 2 different ones. Afterwards, we'll put them up on this board, and we'll have separate pieces for each one of the questions, and we'll move forward from there in September. And in August, we will be inviting people to smaller groups. This is a pretty small group, I get it, but into smaller groups where we take a little more time with all of these questions and use this as a way to start before we before we have to start crunching numbers, because there's things for us to consider. So, thank you. Divide up, talk amongst yourselves. You have 5 minutes for the first question. Can you post that for us, please, Travis? Or... Yeah. Yep. Well, that sounds like a thunderous rain. Okay, do you all have your Post-it notes and something to write with? And if we can get that first question posted, but once again, it is what matters to you about this church? So 5 minutes.
10:35.
Yep.
Are we going to ask people if they want to say something?
Yeah, we will at the end of the 5 minutes.
Yeah, less now.
You have about a minute to wrap up and conclude your answers to this, unless you need more. Yeah, just number one. That's all we're doing now. It's just number one. Not all three of them. Just the first one. I know. There's always some in the group.
Do we want to give them a chance to speak before we pick up the note? Before we pick up the note, and then we'll pick up the note.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready to collect? And do any of you want to stand up and say what your group thought was the most important thing about what mattered to you about this church? And if not, will you take your sticky notes and put them up here? Judy? All right, he's got Clay. Judy wants to talk, so. Should be on.
Okay. One of the most important things we felt was the outreach, the social justice in this church.
Okay.
Another thing was that it's not a mega church. We often feel uncomfortable in those. And the third thing is it's friendly. It makes you feel you can be a part of the church, the inclusiveness of it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, our church means a lot to me because we help our community. We teach Jesus' loving word and spread the loving word, and we're out there to help the homeless, and we have meals for people that needs to come to have a meal or water. And it's a Wednesday wellness meetings. We went all out for that to help the homeless and the needy. So this means a whole lot for me, and I love each and one of you in your wonderful work. Thank you so much, with love.
Anyone else? Okay. Okay. I think Jesse's been waiting. Oops. Sorry, Jess.
We had unanimous agreement that the sense of community and connectedness was like really like it for us. That we have a history of being receptive, progressive, and wanting to grow, not only as people ourselves, but for our community to continue growing. We seek it. We want to grow. And we want all of us to grow together. And the last one was to brainstorm about participation. How can we get more people to join us? And even to have like events and somehow even hope that some of them stay, but even if it's just like fundraising events so that we can get our coffers to be a little less meager. That's us.
Thank you. Okay, Jesse.
We had, let's see, we liked or we just decided ours was like and similar spiritual community, open, free, and not told what to believe, guided practices, friendly and welcoming, learning about the Gospels, Bible studies, etc., outreach, community involvement by example, local missionaries is what we kind of termed out, guiding principles for expanding into community, and easygoing and patience and tolerant.
Thank you. Anybody want to put anything else up there that seems like it didn't get said that you think is very important about this church? All right. Question number 2. Sure, I got the little John working on it. Give it right back. All right, let's go to work on question 2. Can you post that, please?
I did. Oh, you want it on the screen?
Yes, please.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. We did them all. Okay. Which one was which then?
Well, yeah, and all work together. It's like one was community, 2 was growth, and 3 was the ends of plus the others.
Okay. I need to find a number. Did all of you put all of your stuff together? Okay. Well, let's do number 2. So for those of you who didn't do all of them together, we concentrate then on for you. One of the things that made Park Road is livestream. You didn't put all of them together in the first one. We concentrate on the second one, 5 minutes. Then it might be that question brings up some other things that didn't come up in first. I have to talk to her here. I'm sorry, I forget about the mic. So all of you, if you could concentrate on the second question, and if you didn't answer all the questions at once, maybe underscore for the record what the things are that make this church what it is. Does that make sense? We thought it did, but maybe it doesn't. Okay, so 5 minutes, and tell us what you think about this question. About another minute? Or is everybody done? Done? All right. Would anybody like to tell us what they thought about this question? Okay. Yes, you do, for the online folks.
You don't want to hear me, really. We felt that people from the church here willing to help where needed, not just in the church, but in the community. We have community folks that come and help as well. Second thing is our partnerships. That includes Darkness to Light, Savalti, We Shine, Cultivate Initiatives, Snowcap, the nurses that come on Wellness Wednesday. We have a person that comes and does haircuts, Bible study 2 times a week, and restorative justice.
Thank you. Anybody else?
We thought that the outreach, again, was something that was extremely, something that makes this the church. Also, the participation with other groups we thought was very important. We all liked the coffee hour. We thought that was important. The welcome back after being gone for a while, that's good. And being part of the larger community.
Excellent, thank you.
The things that made it special to us was the open-mindedness. We felt that it embraced ideas, beliefs, that it was non-judgmental, that it was embracing, nurturing, and uplifting.
Thank you.
We wrote down what made Parkrose community what it is, the neighborhood open and welcoming, a family and locally based, the people willing to engage and interact with each other and the community at large. And then also it was a good job of the 2 older churches being Eastminster and Parkrose joining together. Was a good job of that. Those joining together made it what it is too. So.
Thank you. Rita?
Well, I like the way, it's wonderful how Erica have brought the children closer to our services so they can get the feeling of connection and love during the services. In other words, children are important too in hearing the loving words from our church and participating along with us. They feel a belonging. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's now do 5 minutes on question 3. What else would you like to tell the church council about making the budget for 2025? You can take 6 minutes on this. Might take that long, or maybe not. Anyway, starting now, please. About another minute, folks. Okay, are we ready to wrap up, or do you need a few more minutes? Okay, I'm gonna call time. Anybody want to present their ideas?
We said looking for grants, continue to make current programs possible, rent the space as available in the church, or maybe rent out the garden space behind the church.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe rent out the space in the parking lot when it's available to any events or anybody sell anything they want, even their art, even maybe like somebody's in the making pottery or bowls or any artistic interest.
Okay, thank you.
We thought that we should be extremely careful about spending our investments, the investments part of the income. We would like to explore more fundraisers in hopes that that would help, and explore more grants, figure out how to attract more young people, or maybe any young people, and continue keeping our repairs done well.
Thank you.
We were trying to think of ways that we could increase our coffers. And so fundraisers was one of them, grants was one of them, but also sponsors. I mean, we sponsor people. Why can't people sponsor us? Do you know, and get different people. I don't know what, like Fred Meyer's, Home Depot, other places like that. They give grants and sponsor people for things. So why can't we do that? And we can give them free advertising. We can put it in our little bulletin. Do you know, like Fred Meyer's, you go there. So, but just some way to be creative about trying to figure out more ways to get an inflow of cash rather than an outflow.
Thank you. Did you put that up? Okay, thank you.
Ours were kind of similar to others. A couple of different things. Can the conference share funds with us? Continue without we felt that the council should continue planning with outreach in mind. Are there grants from community outreach programs that we could apply for? And then to have a measurable dynamic plan. We don't know what that plan is yet, but
okay.
Somehow, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Everybody take a deep breath. Thank you for your hard work. Let's go back to our places. We'll gather this up and get it out to everybody. And then please look for an invitation to come in August and in September to a smaller meeting focusing both on what we harvested here, but also any new ideas that will occur to all of us as we try to build this budget. And I would just say again, with one of the things that I've really appreciated in my own time in this church is that we are always looking to find the place that God calls you, where our deep gladness meets the world's deep hunger. It always feels to me like that's what we're doing ultimately, even if we're crunching numbers. So thank you very much for your time.